Hi sharks, welcome back. Today I'm going to just be doing some, I'm going to try some wisteria. And the wisteria can be different colors. There's white, there's pink, there's violet. And I think I may go with the violet, although I haven't opened my palette yet. I'm going to be using my White Nights watercolors today. And it's my set. I think there's 36 in this set. This is the set. And there is a violet in this set, but from what I remember, it is a fugitive pigment, PV3. Yes, that is a fugitive pigment, which basically means it will fade into nothingness over time. So I'll probably just mix my own, which is nicer anyway, because then I can get some variety. I've got a messy desk here I'm trying to clean up, and we'll go ahead. I'm going to move my footprint palette out of the way here, and we'll go ahead and get started. I'm just doing it on this little sheet here. And today I might use my Arches quill. This is a size 3 Arches Pedigree Per 30. So that's a 000. Wow. Huh. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and squirt down my watercolors, get them going, and I want to wipe up all this old watercolor. I'm out of paper towel here, so I'm going to have to use this. Actually, to start, I'm going to go ahead and put in some green stems. And I'm just mixing a little bit of my olive green and a little bit of my dark green together to give me the right green that I want. Could use blue and yellow, it doesn't matter. This looks okay. So I want to make it lighter though. I think this pigment's pretty strong from what I remember. And I'm just going to draw down some stems. Okay, let's just start with that. I can always add more lines in afterward, but now I'm going to go ahead and mix up some ultramarine and a little bit of my quinacridone lilac. It's giving me a very nice blue violet, which is what I wanted. And I'm just watering it down a bit. And I'm going to switch brushes. And just going to plop some stuff in here. I want it nice and light. see how simple this wisteria is and how loose and fun it is. Just play around with it, have a great time. It's very simple to do, and I'm just putting stems in here and there. I think I want to put in some little leaves, but I don't think I should, because when it's blooming, I can't remember, yeah, I guess it does. It has leaves at the time, but I think I might just leave it as is. I don't want to ruin it, so it's easy to go overboard when you're playing with these things, you know. And if you use the tip of your brush as the end of the petal, like that, just dab them in there. And if you want to loosen it up, just get sloppy with it, like I did at the top. I mixed 3 different types of color. I used one with a lot of ultramarine and very little quinacridone lilac. You could use magenta, whatever you have, pink and ultramarine, whatever. And then I did one that had quite a bit of magenta and just a tinge of blue. And I mixed them in 3 batches like this. So I had one with lots of magenta and a little bit of blue to make a brighter purple, just like that. And then my second batch I had with a lot more blue and a lot less of the quinacridone lilac, like that, just barely a blue violet. And then the other one, actually this one should be a little bluer. I wanted that more purple, like that. There. And then the last one was more red, more of the quinacridone lilac and less of the blue, like that. So you've got 3 steps of color, and it just adds more dimension to it, and it makes it fun. And then just go ahead and dab the colors in here and there. You can have fun with it. It only takes like 5 minutes to do one of these paintings. Shoot, you could make a whole bunch of them to give to family and friends, and they'll think, wow, I've got an original artwork from my friend, and it really didn't take you long at all. So just have fun with it and play around. Make it kind of loose and all coming together at the top, and then gradually add some definition in after it dries. Otherwise, it's just going to keep spreading and spreading. And I'm going to add a little more down here. The tips I like to have a little more defined. That needs some green. And you want to go over the green part of the stem here and there too, or just put it in last after you're done, if you can manage to do that. Then just take a finer brush. I was using that quill, and now I'm using my number 3 Rosemary & Company synthetic mongoose, which is a very firm brush with a lot of spring. And I'm using my green mixture that I made. Actually, I need to dry this a little bit so it doesn't all blur together. So let me just kind of dry this down real quick. And then I'll go ahead and I'll add a little more definition of these. Up near the top, just very sparingly put anything in, because remember, it's loose. This is one way to do a loose painting. Somebody was telling me the other day, I think it was Michelle, was saying that she wanted to learn to paint a little bit looser, and this is a fun way to practice it. Just cut a small piece of paper. This one wasn't very big. It's like 7, maybe, let's see, 5.5 by 7. So I can put it in a 5x7 frame, cut it down a little bit at the top or whatever. Oops, I forgot I had green on my brush here. Each one of these little things is supposed to have a green stem on it. You don't need to put every one of them in, but just make sure you put some in, or else you're just going to have little floating, it's wisteria. I love wisteria. When I lived in this other city, before I moved where I'm at now, I lived in a city called Royal Oak, Michigan, and it was beautiful there. It was very up and coming, but the homes are on the smaller side. They're so expensive now, it's ridiculous, but because it's such a hot area, very metro Detroit, you know, and anyway, I had a neighbor who had wisteria trees, not just the vines, but the trees, and one was close to their house and hung way over, and then another one hung over the sidewalk and when it bloomed, it came way down, and I'd take my dogs for a walk or whatever. This was 25 years ago, something like that. I'd take my dogs for a walk, and we'd walk right under the wisteria that was just hanging down over you like this beautiful tunnel. It was gorgeous, except for the bees. Nowadays, you don't see many bees, but okay, I think I'm done. I was just checking to make sure it's dry before I remove my tape. Don't forget to sign it. And this was a very simple, easy, loose style painting. Coming up this week, I'm going to be doing a You Asked For It video. I have 2 interesting questions from two different people. And so we'll be covering that. And one is alternatives to paint color that she does not like. And the other one is for cheap alternatives for people who cannot afford professional watercolors but want something good to use. And so I'll be going over those. I'm going to go ahead and sign this. I'm just going to use a pen. I'll use this felt tip pen here. I think that'll be fine. And, but I want to make sure I sign it high enough that it's not going to interfere in my frame. So I'm just going to sign it right up here. There. And there's my painting. I'm going to go ahead and put it in a frame and see how it looks. Okay, this was just a frame I had laying around. Obviously, it doesn't really match, but this is what it would look like framed. It needs a little tape on the back, too, because this is such an old frame that just use some of this to hold it in place for right now. That side's fine. There. And there is the framed photo or painting. So everybody have a great day. Remember, be courageous, paint with wild abandon, and most of all, be kind to each other. And be loose in your painting. Have fun with it. God bless you all. Bye-bye.